Good evening. I'm Jessica Crawford. Thank you for joining us. Breaking news right now. One person has been shot in an officer-involved shooting. Right now, that officer is okay. The condition of that person, though, is unknown. KFDM's Cassidy Wood is live at the scene in Port Arthur. Cassidy, what can you tell us so far? One boy is with family members and another one is recovering from minor smoke inhalation after the fire that nearly destroyed this house. Right now, a 40-year-old Beaumont man is back home after posting a $150,000 bond. Christopher Ray Jones is charged with the murder of his wife, Olivia Jones. It all happened on Valentine's Day at a home in the 5500 block of Pine Bur Boulevard in North Beaumont. Many in the area reacting negatively to this, saying a $150,000 bond is just not high enough. Good afternoon, Tiffany. Yes, there are still officers here actually surrounding the school, surrounding the church, even at this hour. The Episcopal Diocese of Texas claims that the scare began this morning when a reverend walked in and noticed blown out windows and holes in the walls. Absolutely, Greg. Now, Citi Trends was closed today because of that big mess, but they are going to try to go ahead and reopen it tomorrow, but there are no guarantees as far as that's concerned. You can take a look and still see the damage, boarded up windows, rubble here on the ground, and officers say that a group out of Houston is responsible. Beaumont police are looking into that, and what they've discovered is that sometimes those guns end up in the hands of criminals. Most recently, they say that one of those guns was used in an armed robbery in West Beaumont. Developing now, Sears has released a list of 80 stores across the nation that will soon permanently close, and one of those stores listed is the Sears off Highway 365 in Port Arthur. This store, along with the other 79 across the nation, will close at the end of March of 2019. The Beaumont store is not on the list. Sears filed for bankruptcy back in October. Liquidation sales at the store will begin in 2 weeks, and we'll keep you updated on that story as it develops both on air and online. And breaking at this hour, KFDM is learning an effort is underway to bring horse racing to Ford Park. A petition drive going on right now to get the proposal onto the May 4th ballot. KFDM's Angel San Juan joins us now live in the studio. And Angel, there's a lot of confidence surrounding this proposal, right? Interesting story. Thank you so much, Angel. Well, we're all hoping for nice weather for December 31st, but will it come? Meteorologist Greg Bostwick joining us now.
Well, it doesn't look too bad, actually, for the nighttime hours.
Thank you, Greg. Well, tonight, the football capital of the world loses a legend. 76-year-old Warren Wells died Thursday night of congestive heart failure. He's considered to be one of the best athletes to come out of Southeast Texas. KFDM's Quentin Hope has that report. Warren Wells also served in the U.S. Army for 2 years. And tonight, Houston police are hoping surveillance video will help lead to an arrest in a deadly shooting. The shocking surveillance video caught outside of a convenience store in Houston on Wednesday shows a man fighting with a robber. The victim and suspect struggled over the weapon. The suspect got to his feet and shot the victim. That victim was taken to the hospital where he later died. Houston police are still investigating that robbery tonight. And thousands of migrants have poured into El Paso since October. Earlier this week, nearly 500 alone were dropped off at a bus shelter in one night. A church outside of El Paso says it offered to help, but the ICE officials had turned them down. A representative for a nonprofit there says no migrant was stranded and they figured out shelter for everyone. And over the last 48 hours, more than 100 children in Border Patrol custody have received medical screenings. The screenings are a part of the new policy implemented after the death of 2 migrant children in U.S. custody. 16 medical facilities were chosen to give the medical screenings. The medical screenings are now mandatory for children under 10 years old. Parents of the kids accompany their children on their medical visit and can also get a medical screening if those parents feel sick. Everything is being billed to the federal government. And a district that has gained national attention from a case over the Pledge of Allegiance has reached a settlement. Cypress Fairbanks ISD, west of Houston, has agreed to allow students the right not to participate in the Pledge of Allegiance as long as the students have parental permission. The settlement comes after the fight between a student and her mother versus the school. Anita Landry was 17 years old when she was sent to the office for sitting for the pledge and was eventually expelled from the school. Welcome back. It is National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day, so who better to have by my side showing me how to cook up the good stuff than Heather Healy herself.
KFDM's Jessica Crawford is in Santa Fe, and you spoke with a student who was at the school this morning when that shooting happened.
That's right, Tiffany. And where I am right now is actually the Alamo building. And this is where parents have been going to see if their students are okay. And I'm just going to be very honest right now. This is a sad place right now. We very recently just saw a family go into that building and come out in tears. It is a very emotional moment right here for people who are in Santa Fe. And the shooting has affected everyone here in some way. Parents reunite with students after a high school shooting that shook a small town.
Scary and weird at the same time. You don't know why it happened and you don't want it to happen again.
Logan Roberts is a senior at Santa Fe High School. Friday, just days away from graduation, his life will never be the same.
And we were just sitting there, we heard 2 gunshots.
One of the many gunshots hit his friend.
Brianna, sending prayers to her, she ended up getting shot in the leg.
Students praying for students and a community hoping to put an end to school shootings.
It's really terrible for this town, it really is.
Elizabeth Rivera says her niece escaped from the school and the violence.
I could hear her over the phone when I called my sister. She's just chaos, it was like screaming and everything. I couldn't hear anything that was going on, and she was screaming, crying.
Now that the shooting has stopped, the most important thing to Roberts is family.
My brother, who desperately wanted to see me, I was like, Mom, let's just go get my brother and just make sure he knows I'm safe.
A survivor, now embracing the life of his family after so many lives were lost at his school. And here in Santa Fe, I just want to reiterate, this is a sad moment. People are feeling real pain. Families continue to walk out of this building either sad or confused, still looking for their loved ones. But many people here tell us that their faith is what's keeping them going in this moment. And even a local prayer group just held a prayer at a local church here. Well, I'm live in Santa Fe. Jessica Crawford, KFDM 6 News. Well, Carter has been indicted for felony theft, and so far we know of 2 families who have filed police reports saying Carter promised to start working on cabinets for them after Harvey, but never finished the job. Now, one of those families paid him $34,000, and they're trying to get it back.
And they were going to be all built-ins.
Big post-Harvey plans that never came to fruition, but they did come with a price.
Was $34,020.
In March, Dr. Michael Keller and his wife Lisa wrote a check for more than $34,000 to a company called R Customs for cabinets.
Told us that he needed, halves because he had to go buy the materials.
The Kellers say Robert William Carter drew up pictures of what the cabinets were supposed to look like, but never installed them.
Robbie did not do one thing here in this house. He didn't do a tear out. He just walked in here, he talked, collected the money, showed us plans, and that's it.
The Kellers reported the issue to the Port Neches police. The couple says they offered to drop the charges if Carter would just install the cabinets, but say he never followed through.
I specifically asked him, I said, Robbie, just give us our money back. He said, I can't eat cabinets. And that's not an answer, because we can't eat that type of money either as a loss.
We spoke with Carter on the phone. He says he always intended to complete and install the cabinets, but he was busy with several jobs due to Harvey. When I asked if he would return the Kellers $34,000, he said he considered the payment to be a deposit, and he does not return deposits. He was indicted by a Jefferson County grand jury for felony theft Wednesday.
We both work hard for our money. And for somebody to take it and be no repercussions, it's hard to see it.
A Port Arthur family also reported buying nearly $7,000 in cabinets from Keller in February and says that he never built them or installed them. The BBB gave R Customs Woodworks an F on its website.